Maybe. Hi. How's it going? Hey, Colby, let me see my iPad. Then it needs to be plugged in. Kids. How's it going, everybody? Hey, you might have to go in the other room. On YouTube, you can see now art. Okay, so this has happened. Ah, there we go. Ashley. Wow. Ashley said, I am messing around. I am just today. Are you like, you've been on the antibiotics since Sunday evening? Is that right? So hopefully, maybe tomorrow you're feeling better. Strep throat is awful. It is no joke, you guys. Do y'all love listening to my children talk about playing Fortnite? Hello. I was beginning to wonder if comments weren't working because, like I said, or is the delay that long? Glad you're all commenting now. Christine's a 7. Yeah, I hope so too, Ash. I hope so too. Hello, hello, hello. I got my sermon done today. I don't have like everything needed, but I got it done. Ugh. But sometimes that happens with strep throat too. But I mean, you know, I mean, it can. So I think you know that though. You've had strep quite a few times. What?
You had the fireplace on.
Oh.
I did about half of your coffee and shut off.
Good job, Melba. An 8. Yeah, I mean, it's been on all day. Sorry. What was I gonna say? Oh, I feel like a solid 7 to 8 because I got my sermon done. I don't have everything done for Sunday, but I have my sermon done. So I just have a little bit more work to do on preparing a couple of emails to go out. But then I think I'm set. I have a board meeting tonight. Oh, Debbie, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. That's awful. Can you fix that door, please? Yeah, definitely praying for you, Debbie. Dad's a 7.5 to an 8. You know, loss is hard anytime. It's hard especially at the holidays. And this year it just feels even worse because we can't gather to grieve together like we normally do. It makes it harder. Hello, Vanita. I don't remember what I was going to say. I mean, right out of my head. One thing is I know Ashley got the church merch orders sent in. And so hopefully, if you wanted something, you got that into us. We're excited. Super excited to get that stuff in. I'm looking forward to the Christmas Eve premiere. We've been working and prepping on that, and we'll be recording it this weekend. So pray for us. And you know what? Let's do this before we get into like what we're reading in the Bible real quick. I know, we all know, yep, we do. We all know that there is, that we've been having issues with our streaming on Sundays and Wednesdays. Awesome, Melba. I want to just take a moment to explain that and just reiterate, we have ordered new equipment. It just hasn't come in yet. If you have not tried to order certain kinds of things, appliances, electronics, things like that, since like this whole COVID thing, a lot of those types of things are hard to come by, slow to come in. They can be a back order, things like that. So we're waiting on an update on when to expect ours, but that's kind of what I'm thinking has happened. And it just is what it is. That being said, Pastor Sai is also brainstorming some potential reasons why it's happening outside of that, and working on possibly trying to see if there's a way we can work around it for now. That being said, I want to be hopeful and say if it kicks out again, but I feel like the right thing to say is when it kicks out again. If you're watching on Facebook, which is the only place we're live right now, don't panic if it kicks out. Just give it about 20 to 30 seconds to a minute and refresh the Facebook page. So like if you're on a phone, you'll just close out of the stream, close out of the video, and pull all the way down on your screen. If you're on a desktop, you're just going to hit the refresh button in the corner of the browser. And refresh the screen, and you might have to do that once or twice, and then the new video will show, and you'll just be able to click on that and watch it again. Believe me when I tell you, no one is more frustrated than the pastoral staff and the board over this whole thing. You may be very frustrated, no doubt, but I guarantee you're not as frustrated as us. And so the only thing I can ask is that you have grace and patience, because we're doing what we can, and refresh. Also, because Pastor Sai was trying to work on some troubleshooting and trying to see if there's a new way to try this, or something we can do on our end. He had changed a couple of settings in the app and working on it last week, and just forgot to switch it back. We assumed, he and I talked about it, and he said he assumed it would happen automatically. And I said, well, I get that. I would have assumed the same thing. And that's why in the very beginning Sunday morning with worship, there was no sound for a couple of minutes. That's why. And he when he saw the comments coming through that there was no sound, he realized what it probably was, checked it, and that's what it was. So, so if you just gave up because you didn't have sound for a few minutes and you left and you haven't come back, it took about, I don't know, 3 to 4 minutes, something like that. And then there was sound. So go back and watch. You only missed part of the first song. Maybe the first song. I think only part of the first song. So go back and you can watch that. And then there is a second video because it cut out. Again, the whole video stopped. The camera kicked us out. And so there is a second video for the message. Most of you, I think, that were watching Sunday Morning Live figured that out and came back on. But that's what you need to know. Don't panic. If it kicks out, we know before you know, because there's about anywhere from a 20 to 40 second delay between what's live and what you're seeing on your screen. And so by the time it stops for you, we've already stopped and restarted. And yes, Ashley's saying they pieced together as much as we could and put it on YouTube. So Sunday mornings is there. And I'm going to work and see if we can get the previous 2 sermons up on YouTube so that the whole series is there. So for Sundays. So, and then Christine, I just saw your comment. You're halfway through my latest podcast. Well, thanks. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoy it and laugh like we did. So thank you. I appreciate your support, ma'am. Anyway, so that's on that. So what are you reading in the Bible? I wish my iPad was charged and I could tell you everything I was reading in the Bible. But I can tell you today's Advent reading. Oh, shoot. I'm going to drop my keyboard. Today is day 17. Yes, day 17 of an Advent. And in mine, we're reading about how Jesus is born to heal wounds, or to heal our wounds. So all over the book of Isaiah and the New Testament scriptures about the prophetic messages of Jesus being, or the Messiah being the healer, and then the times that Jesus did healing, and then in Revelation, which, come on, Christine, right? Don't you want some fried cheese balls too?
Fried cheese balls.
Yes, I call Abby's dad, my dad number 2, and we were teasing after the recording that I need my dad number 2 to get on that. Melba, I can't control that. My sound is what it is every week, so you might want to check yours. I don't know. This has or your problem is for Sunday morning. And let me explain this too. If we turn the volume up on our end anymore, it will cut the live stream, or it will peak our soundboard. And that means it will blow our soundboard. We have our sound set as high as we can without it creating a problem with our resources in-house and with our camera. I can't explain it. Here's the thing. What we are finding. So like Noah, last Wednesday, as my dad was praying and leading worship for Wednesday morning, I got a couple comments that they couldn't hear. So we adjusted it as much as we could, which took us to the max. I put my earbuds in because if I turned mine up in the sound booth, I was afraid of what it would do in the room. And I could hear perfectly fine. And then Josh sat next to me in the sound booth, and he opened it up on his phone without earbuds, and we could hear it perfectly fine. So I don't know what that problem is, other than it seems to depend on the device being watched on. My best suggestion is when that happens to back out and rejoin, or to use headphones or earbuds. Because I've had several people tell me when I put my earbuds in, I can hear everything fine. I don't know if that's Facebook. I don't know if that's a device issue, but I don't know. Now, that, like I said, Sunday morning, the very beginning of the service, there was just something that Pastor Sai had to switch, and he didn't realize it hadn't reset automatically, which we thought it would. And so that was fixed after he saw the comments. But the low audio, we got nothing, because we're not doing anything any differently than we've been doing all along, except turning it up. So, which honestly could be the problem. Maybe Facebook has some kind of a setting in their live stream that if the input audio is too high, they automatically lower it to try to protect people who maybe wear earbuds. I don't know. But yeah, so I don't know. Thank you. Well, I don't know. There's no ice. I started to make an iced coffee before we jumped on and realized we didn't have ice. Ty ran and got ice. And Donnie hit the start button for me because I told him all you got to do is put ice in here, hit the start button, and it'll go. And the breaker blew. And so he was trying to adjust it. And so it is what it is.
When the breaker blow? Nothing kicked off?
Oh, maybe it wasn't the breaker then. Maybe it was just the plug in there sometimes loosens.
We didn't get
That's true. That's true. Anyway, nothing. So that's that as far as I hope that helps. But anyway, I saw somebody texted me. I think they texted me what they're reading in scripture, but I can't check it right now. Sorry.
Oh, no, so
Yeah, but that's the only suggestion I can make, because we've literally done everything we can on our end to fix that. And like I said, if we raise the volume up, I mean, if you were in the auditorium the last few weeks, you'd be complaining that the sound is too loud. It's loud in the auditorium. And the way our audio stream is set up is that what we set for the house sound is automatically set to come through for the stream. So what we hear in house is supposed to be what you're hearing on the stream. And it makes no sense that you don't, or that some people do and some people don't, which is why I think it's a Facebook or a device issue. Yeah, Christine, I saw that you're still doing the cover to cover Advent. I think my mom is doing that one too. I started one. So there's an app called Abide. And the Abide app, actually you only get a couple free things, but and you can do a subscription. It's just not something I've done. I don't know. Maybe I'll ask for it for my birthday, because it's kind of neat. So if I have a hard time sleeping, then I will pull up an Abide sleep meditation. So what it is it's somebody who's reading scripture and praying over you, and like they do it in a soothing way to help you relax, and it helps you think. So I've done that a few times. Like I'll put my earbuds in, my AirPods in, and start one of those and go to sleep. Well, in the Bible app, there is a whole plan for sleep Christmas meditations. And so I started that because I was having a hard time sleeping. I actually have had that for months, but so I started that plan. I've done 2 of the nights, and literally I'll fall asleep within 3 or 4 minutes of playing it. I don't even think I make it through the entire meditation, like prayer meditation, before it goes. Because when I wake up in the morning, it's just taken me back to my main homepage on the Bible app, and it doesn't even have that it's marked completed for the day, because it like stops. And anyway, but that it's a good one. So the Abide app also, okay, so there's the Abide app that you can download, but like I said, there's a subscription to that, and so you only get a handful of free ones. But there's also if you use Spotify, there is Abide has a channel on Spotify, and you can listen to some of them on there. I've done that, and then like I said, I decided just to see on a whim if there were plans in the Bible app, and there are. So the Christmas one, it's kind of neat. And it starts out like crawl into bed, relax your body, cast away everything from the day. And it's kind of like that. And it says, let us pray for you. And then they pray. And there have been, since I've used Abide a few times, sometimes I don't remember anything after the start of their prayer because it's just soothing. So I do like that. So I have that going. But like I said, I've got the She Reads Truth. Do you know? Okay, so I've told you in She Reads Truth. And Ashley's seen this too because she has it. I love that in the She Reads Truth books, they have like craft ideas and recipes. And so in this one, I think I showed you this, you guys this before, but in this one of the crafts is this cross stitch. And there's a, where is it? Oh, there it is. There's a QR code to scan and download like the patterns for these. And then right here, it lists all the colors of the embroidery floss you need to do it. And so I have been now to Hobby Lobby, Walmart. I've looked at Michael's online to like place my order online and then pick up at the store, and Amazon, and cannot find all these colors. Just as a heads up too, like the Walmart numbers don't even match. Like they didn't even, well, I shouldn't say they don't match. They didn't even carry. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 13 colors of embroidery floss you need to do the 3 patterns. Walmart didn't have a single one of them. And they actually had a decent selection. I have not, because I've not been back up there. I didn't even, the day we went to Hobby Lobby, oh, you know what? I forgot to look at Hobby Lobby. We went to Hobby Lobby looking for stocking holders for like the mantle. They had one. It was a giant star and it was $30. It was 30% or 20% off, but it was still way more than I was going to spend. The one I wanted, it wasn't available online, and they said it's in the stores. It wasn't. Anywho, so that's what I went for, and it was super crowded, and we decided we weren't going to wait in line for anything else. You know what I mean? So we left. But we had like 4 other stops to make while we were up that way, so we didn't go there. I don't even know if I'll be back up there because I need something to occupy my hands to give my brain a rest, and so that's why I thought these would be neat. But like I said, I think Michael's had all but 2 of the colors. So, and I haven't cross-stitched and not legit cross-stitched. I haven't legit cross-stitched in I couldn't tell you the last time I legit cross-stitched. Probably junior high. But I just really wanted something. So I did find, not as nice as these patterns are, although just because those look that nice doesn't mean that's what I'm going to be able to produce. I did find some fun Christmassy, wintry kits on Amazon that come with the hoop and the canvas and the floss and the needle. But the canvas has like the print on it, like for beginners, because I kind of typed in for beginners because it's been so long since I've done it. But they were kind of cute. And there was one that had a kit of 3 for like $20, and one that was $7 for one. I'm debating on placing an order and getting myself one, or just going up to Michael's and see if they have something similar in the store. I just need something for my hands to do to give my brain a break. What else? What do you do when you need something like that? What do you do? I also color sometimes. I have seen those. That cracks me up. There is so much from the 80s and early 90s that is coming back around, and it slightly terrifies me, if I'm quite honest with you. Yeah, I have quite a few coloring books. Seriously, those crack me up. I wish I could crochet, but I can't. I have tried. I can do a chain. That is all I can do on crochet. So my mom used to do that a lot before lupus and arthritis messed up her hands. My grandma used to crochet all the time. When we went to Glenview when I was a teenager, we had a lady there who crocheted. She made me this beautiful large doily that for the longest time before I had kids, to be honest, was over my cedar chest. I'd be willing to look at those coloring books, Mom, and see if there's something, because also, like, I don't just do any coloring book. I'm not that I'm picky, but if you're wanting something to occupy your brain in a different way, like in that kind of a creative way, and it's not something that catches your attention, it doesn't work. Yeah. Same, Christine. And I don't even know at this point at 40 years old if I want to try. But hey, Linda. But then I don't have a picture of it from this year, but I have pictures of it from past years. Where Target in that, what's that front section? I want to say, I always call it the dollar bin. It's not, because stuff ranges up to like $5. The bargain area at Target when you first walk in, several years ago, probably like 5 or 6 years ago now, they had like banner kits. So it had like twine, like a long string of twine, or like what is that called? I can't think of what it's called, but like twine. And then it had pieces of felt, kind of like, that are off-white with red, like red stripes, but they're not just stripes. They're kind of patterned. And that's what it was. And I thought, I think I may try like a rustic embroidery on it. And I did. I have a short one. Sorry, just got a phone call. Hope that didn't mess that up. I have a short one in my office that I usually do for Christmas, but I haven't decorated my office for Christmas this year because I haven't been there much. But I have a longer one that I usually hang in the house, and it's usually been on this like white table that I have that I put Santas on, or it's on our TV stand. And it actually just barely stretches on our new fireplace TV stand. So I have it there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sections to it. I do have a few plain sections, but anyway. And then I just used green embroidery floss, and I did like different styles of rustic trees, like Christmas trees. And then I did words like, one says hope and one says peace, one says joy, and one says believe. But they're all very, very rustic, very kind of like primitive looking, which is what I kind of like, that Americana primitive rustic type of thing. So I like doing stuff like that. Did the boys leave with your dad?
Yes.
Where'd they go?
To look at deer.
To look at deer. Okay. So what are you guys doing for dinner tonight? while you're answering that. So my idea for my stockings, because to put all 5 of them across our fireplace, we can't do that because it's like, one of those electric fireplaces, and it would cover the heating element. It's probably not smart. So I hung mine and Donnie's on the corner of our fireplace. And I was going to hang the boys on the windowsill behind me. And I have like command hooks. And I just haven't done it yet. And Colby's been asking me for 3 days, Cindy's going to bring you chili? That sounds really good. Colby's been asking me for 3 days when we're going to put our stockings up. So when I got my sermon done, I went downstairs and pulled the stockings out and came up, and the hooks I have are too big for the windowsill. So they're hanging on the wall over here. Different because they normally hang on the wall that I'm facing, but we had my brother do family pictures of us this year, and we're actually ordering prints. We've done family pictures a few times, not in a long time, but we honestly haven't. We've ordered just a couple of prints. We haven't really done much, but this time we're ordering prints. So there's not going to be room on that wall for stockings this year. Christine's thinking maybe meatloaf, but not sold on it yet. Yep, we did meatloaf the other night.
Greatest meal ever.
Mom and Dad are doing pork chops, a vegetable, maybe a salad or mashed potatoes. Well, we decided before Thanksgiving, and then at Thanksgiving, Donnie's sister said, well, she wanted in on it. So actually, did you let her know you were doing that today? She'll be surprised. So we have a turkey in the deep fryer. We're going to do a turkey and baked potatoes. Well, welcome back, Ash. We're talking about dinner. We've talked about, I don't know where you left, but we've talked about what we're reading in the Bible, and we've talked about how to busy our fingers to give our brains a break, or how to allow our brains to check out without doing work kind of things, but still do something that's kind of active but relaxing. And my father-in-law showed up and took my kids to go see deer. Did we talk about that for about 10 seconds? And then we're talking about dinner. Oh, we also talked about how excited, you may have been on for that, excited we are about the Christmas Eve recording, stuff like that. What do you need help with?
The turkey's probably ready to come out.
Already?
It's been 50-something minutes, almost an hour. I let it go a few minutes longer.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You shouldn't have let all your boys go. There you go. I don't have, the only thing that is always set that we have with like a meal is like when we do meatloaf, it's always mashed potatoes and corn. Always. But sometimes with like pork chops or pork steaks or pork kebabs or something like that, or chicken kebabs or grilled chicken or whatever, sometimes it's baked French fries, sometimes it's baked potatoes, sometimes it's mashed potatoes, sometimes it's fried, or we call it skillet potatoes, sometimes it's salad as the veggie, sometimes it's baked beans as a side. What do you like, the skillet potatoes or fried potatoes or corn and mashed potatoes? Homemade. Ooh, I haven't done homemade pizza in a couple months. That sounds yummy. I like doing that. It was funny. Noah sent me a TikTok of a recipe for it was called pepperoni bread, and he sends me recipes that he wants us to try. Most of them are not on our diet, but this pepperoni bread, I can't tell you how many times I've made it. Like almost the exact same way this video said to make it. So I just replied to him and I'm like, bro, we do that a lot. Well, you know what, Melba? The other night I wanted a little bit of sweet potato casserole, and I am the only one in my house that will eat it. And so I just microwaved one, calzones would be good, one sweet potato, and then I just added a little bit of butter and sugar and brown sugar to it, and not sugar, a little bit of butter and brown sugar to it, and mashed it up and just plopped it like that in the middle of a small baking dish, sprinkled a little brown sugar on top, and baked it. Actually gave me 2 meals out of that one sweet potato. But yes. I haven't done calzones in a while either. That does sound good. I'm going to work on cookies this week. Yep. My friend for Christmas gave me a Trader Joe's chocolate chunk peppermint cookie mix. So good. Colby, who says he hates peppermint, has eaten several of the cookies. I don't think anybody else in the house has tried them because I don't like peppermint. I don't like chocolate chips. What's a pull-apart quesadilla, Ashley? Do tell.
Quesadilla.
I've never been to Trader Joe's. Never been to Trader Joe's. But my friend gave me the cookie mix, and then she got me white chocolate peppermint pretzel crisps that were to die for from there. And I think I need to make a run to Trader Joe's, is all I'm saying. Yeah, you know what's really funny? Well, I know, well, I've heard that too, but I just want to go because like I've never seen mixes like that anywhere else around here. So I just want to go over there. My friend has said the same thing, that she only goes maybe once a month and she goes for specific things. It's not like she would do her regular grocery shopping there, but sounds like a good plan to me, Christine. But so several things happened. So my friend and I, did my podcast this week about Christmas traditions. And I'm not going to get into all of them because I think I'm going to do a follow-up episode on Christmas traditions. But cool. Thank you, ma'am. But after it released yesterday, I got a text from Josh that said, you did a whole episode on Christmas traditions and you didn't talk about this. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about talking about that. And then my cousin texted me and how cool she thought it was, and how much she enjoyed that I talked about some of our family things and how it just brought back fun memories for her too. And I said, Janice, I cannot believe it, but I forgot to talk about Cookie Day. I didn't even think about talking about blah, 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 blah. And we were just cracking up. Like, I guess you can't fit everything in. And we did talk about what you get on this episode of the podcast is real life conversations with me and Abby. We're kind of all over the place. It's kind of like church chat. So that's why I think I'm going to do another one, but little inside scoop here. Not really, but my family for years, has done, that looks pretty, has done Cookie Day. We haven't had a Cookie Day in what, Mom? Probably 4 years. We haven't had a Cookie Day. 3 or 4 years. Just cousins have moved, family has moved. Life is life. Sometimes that happens. And actually, Cookie Day started with my one aunt and her girls, my cousins, in their own house. And then they invited us to join one year. And then it just became a big family thing that we just started doing. I think Ty was tiny, but we probably made, I don't even know how many thousands of cookies we made that one day. We would start around 8 o'clock in the morning and we would go till about 8 o'clock at night. Sometimes we would order pizza for lunch or dinner. Sometimes, like when one of my aunts hosted it a couple of years and she made taco soup, and we would just eat on it all day long. The guys would show up, occasionally throughout the day, but we would do, I think we did with like peanut butter cookie dough. I think we made 3 or 4 different kinds of cookies. And what we would do is everybody would bring containers and take a couple of containers with them. And then all the leftovers were put into my aunt's deep freezer. And then if we needed any later on, we could go back and get a few. I would usually do a tray for here at the house. And then I would do a tray for, a friend, or like I did a tray for Pastor Rich. I would do stuff like that and give them away. But I'm not going to do all of those cookies. Good gracious. Especially because my sister-in-law makes really amazing cookies too. Actually, 2 of my sister-in-laws make stinking amazing cookies. So I don't normally make very many because on Christmas Day, we will get our fill. But this year, I think I'm going to do Reese's Peanut Butter Cup peanut butter cookies. I think I'm going to do white chocolate chip cranberry shortbread cookies and chocolate chip. I think those are what I'm going to do this year. My sister-in-law, Marcia, our Christmas cookie spread is all of her stunningly gorgeous butter cookies, which you can see pictures of those. And if you were at if you've been at any church event that I've brought cookies to, that's probably what you had. And they're just pretty. My cousin Janice is taking a communications class and started a blog for it. And it's called Scrumptious Bakes. So if you follow my blog and you have the Wix site app downloaded, look up Scrumptious Bakes. That's my cousin. She's actually really, really good. And she's talked about possibly only doing the blog for her class and then not doing it when the class is over. I told her she should keep going because she's really good at it. But she actually interviewed my sister-in-law on her cookie decorating. So you can see that there. But Marcia makes really good cookies. But one of my favorite Christmas cookies she makes is a candy cane cookie. And it's kind of a shortbread dough. And it looks like a candy cane. It's red and white. And it's got like sugar dusted on it. And it's peppermint flavored. It's so good. She also does a thumbprint cookie that is, she dyes the dough green. And in the thumbprint is chocolate, but it's a peppermint cookie. And sometimes sprinkled in the center where the chocolate is are like crushed Andes. Guys, it's so good. Yeah, my sister-in-laws, God love them. I do. I love homemade cookies too. I do hate making them. If my kitchen were bigger and I had more counter space, I would probably do a lot more cooking and baking. But I have about a foot of counter space in my kitchen. And so if I have my mixer out, I can't do anything else. And I have very little cabinet or drawer space. So I have utensil caddies on my counter. So that reduces my counter space to that's probably why I have a foot. But it's not the easiest place to roll out dough. I need a pastry mat to put on my table. My tabletop is a tiled top. I need a pastry mat that would make it easier to roll stuff out. Although I don't enjoy doing cutout cookies, but like for pies or learning how to make my mom's dumplings, or Donnie's mom makes dumplings and my mom makes dumplings, and they're both really, really good. They're different. My mom's dumplings are a little bit bigger than my mother-in-law's. But other than that, I think it's almost the same. It's almost the same. Really, really good. Yeah, I think I've done that with wax paper too, but like mine is tiled, so it has the grooves in it. So the wax paper I don't think would be enough to make it smooth. You know what I mean? But a pastry mat, I think is thick enough that it might give me what I need. I just need to probably buy. I should have asked for that for Christmas. Why don't I think of these things when I have to put a Christmas list together? I think of them like now. Oh well, it's okay. Not like something I can't get myself. But I try to think when it comes to Christmas or my birthday, when my family or my husband asks me about what I want, I try to think of things that I normally would not justify buying. You know what I mean? Like the purse I got this year. I would never, ever, ever justify buying it. Just I would just eyeball it and have to pray about envy. Yes, mom. Problem is, the time I think I have to do it is like at 8 o'clock at night. Because it has to be after the boys are done with their school stuff and after I'm done working. And because I have to stop and help the boys with school stuff, sometimes I feel like I don't stop working. For a couple minutes, we were up to almost 14 viewers. It was almost like summertime around here. Well, I know you can't do Thursday. You've got parties going on Thursday. Well, I think I'm going to wrap things up because I have a board meeting tonight. We need to finish dinner. I know it's early. Sometimes I feel very, very old on Tuesdays if we have a board meeting, or Wednesdays because we eat dinner so early. But anyway, so dogs. But I need to get going on that so that I can get to the church, eat and get to the church. But before I go, is there anything else you guys want to talk about quickly? I don't want to end if you guys had something you wanted to bring to the table and discuss. Oh, do you see? Oh, you can't see him on YouTube, I don't think. If I can. No, you can't. Facebook, you can. I have gnomes on my windows. All right. Since nobody's commenting anything, how about I pray and then we talk later. We will. You all good with? Do you want to do church chat next Tuesday? I'm only asking because it's Christmas week, and so you see my gnomes, Christine. Good. I assume we would, but we also like on Christmas week and New Year's week, depending on how the holiday falls and stuff. We don't typically do midweek services. This isn't a service. This is fun, so I don't mind doing it if you want to do it. If you all have family things going on or you all have busy things going on next week and you're like, listen, I know I'm not going to make it on, then you won't worry about it. Do you want to do it next week? How about just leave a comment and I'll check those comments if you want to do it next week. I'll plan on it unless everybody says no. I'm going to pray and then we'll go. Okay? Sounds good to me, Christine. Let's pray. Lord, I thank you for you. I thank you for your presence that surrounds us, your word that speaks to us, your joy that fills us. I thank you for the time that we have to be able to connect. And I just ask that you would be with each one, Lord. I know that there are many who really do need a touch from you. They are in a desperate way, God, that their bodies need healing and restoration. Their minds need a refreshing and a an impartation of hope and joy. And I know that there are many who need wisdom in dealing with situations that they're facing. And so, Father, we pray that you would be the answer and the guide to all of those things. Help us to be aware of your answer, regardless of what that is, and to trust you and to hold and cling on to you. Help us to keep our eyes fixed on what matters most, and that's you. That's the kingdom. Give us the strength and the power and the boldness and the grace to navigate the lives that we live and to reach out to the people around us. We ask for all of this in your strong name. Amen. Have a great evening, and we will see you then next Tuesday, because most of you are saying yes. So we'll see you then. Bye.